Today we're going to talk about working hard, trusting God, and then letting Him light up the path. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." So today I want to offer 4 steps to elevate your life and your dreams. And the first one is to identify your God-given dream. If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. Clarity is the first step in elevation. Number 2 is to surrender that dream to God. And number 3 is then get to work. Faith isn't passive. You pray, you trust, and then you move. And then 4, you get busy serving. You serve while you build. Your breakthrough is often found in serving others. When you focus on impact, God aligns your path. And here's the promise. If you follow these steps, God will light the way forward. All right, step 1, you have to identify your God-given dream. Too many people never define what they're working towards. They drift, that something will happen, but without vision, you can't move forward. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, people perish." God-sized dreams require clarity. So take time, sit with God and ask, what have you put in my heart? Where are these gifts that you've given me leading to? Ask yourself what desires you keep coming back to no matter how much you try to ignore. Write them down. Be bold. Be specific. Stop filtering your dream through fear or doubt or what the world tells you. All right, step 2, surrender it to God. And then number 3, get to work. Once you've identified the dream, you don't sit and wait for the perfect moment. You give it to God and then you move your feet. If you wanted to milk a cow, would you sit on a stool in the middle of a field and hope the cow would back up to you? Of course not. You'd go over, you'd move, and you'd milk it. Too many people are sitting on the stool in the middle of the field just waiting. You have to move. You move first. You know, it would be like you praying for God to bless your business, but never taking a step to build it. You're not waiting on God. He's waiting on you. If you ask God for opportunities, but you don't prepare, train, or develop your skills, you're blocking your own blessing. Your job is to work, and God's job is to guide. He'll guide you. Just get moving. You can't ask the Lord to guide your footsteps if you're not willing to move your feet. Let's identify one action that you'll take today, right now, to move towards the dream that God gave you. You don't even have to be good at it. You serve while you build. Let's look at Joseph, one of the most powerful examples of how to dream, trust God, and work hard, even when everything seems to go against you. Joseph in the Bible was just a teenager when God gave him this massive dream, and he saw visions of himself as a leader, someone who would be in a position of great influence. But instead of stepping into this dream right away, life took him to a horrific, unexpected detour. And his story is an absolute roller coaster. His own brothers betrayed him, sold him into slavery. He worked as a slave in a foreign land, but gave it his best effort, kept on having faith and working for the Lord. He was then falsely accused of a crime and thrown into prison. And even in prison, he served faithfully. You know, Joseph easily could have given up, but he didn't. Instead, he worked hard wherever he was, as a servant, even as a prisoner, as a forgotten man in a foreign land. He never saw himself as a victim, and he just kept showing up. You know, Genesis 39:2 actually says, "Lord was with Joseph and he prospered." Then after years of serving in this obscurity, God elevated him in one single moment. He was called to interpret the dreams for Pharaoh in Egypt, and his wisdom saved an entire nation from famine, including the brothers that threw him into slavery. Wow. Joseph's dream came true, not because he forced it, but because he was faithful in the small spaces. Your breakthrough often comes in serving others. Ask yourself, where can I serve right now? Start where you are with what you have. Let's think about the elevation mindset. God lights the path as you walk. Most people hesitate because they can't see the full picture, but faith just doesn't work like that. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord." Think of walking with a flashlight in the dark. You don't see the whole road, just enough for the next step. And that's how God moves. When you take the first step, He reveals the next. But if you stand still waiting for certainty, you will stay stuck forever. So what step are you afraid of? Because the world is keeping you in fear. Take that step. Listen, your dream is already inside you. Stop waiting for permission to pursue it. Write down the dream that God has placed on your heart. Be bold, be specific, give it to God, and then move. Trusting God certainly does not mean waiting. It means moving forward in faith. So what action can you take today to move forward towards your dream? When you shift your focus from what can I get to how can I serve, doors will open. So where can you serve right now? Your greatest opportunities will often come in the places you least expect. So elevate, step forward in faith, identify your dream, surrender it to God, get to work, and then serve while you build. Your next step is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to take it?